Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Talent Pool Party. This is episode 4. I'm Jill,
I'm Josh.
and today we're joined by some friends of mine, Robbie Yamada and Kate. Oh, I shouldn't have said last name. I don't know how to pronounce it. And yeah, so I know how you guys met and how I know you guys, but yeah, I'll let you guys introduce yourselves.
Cool. Me first. Okay. Yeah. Well, my name's Kate. I'm actually a student at the University of Regina. I'm in my 5th year, going into 5th year in business, majoring in marketing, actually. Um, and yeah, I don't know, I'm one half of Our Styled Life, I guess, our blog on Instagram, and started doing some stuff for New Life as well, which is Robbie's business. Um, so yeah, I'm excited to get to do more with him, and yeah, I don't really have a title yet, I guess, but we'll get there.
Yeah. And my name's Robbie. So I went to the U of A. I just finished my last year in April, so I'm technically graduated, but I just haven't got my piece of paper yet. I was an operations management major and accounting minor. And then, so I started New Life last May. So it's been about a year now. And then we started our blog in April.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll start with talking about your clothing company, Robbie New Life. So can you kind of give us an overview of what it is and kind of what inspired you to start it?
Yeah, so just like a little bit more about it. It's like basically I sell vintage and like retro kind of clothing or pre-owned. It doesn't really have to be like vintage, but all pre-owned and stuff and secondhand. So I always wanted to start my own kind of company thing in the fashion industry. And then, I guess I started the idea in December of like 2018 and kind of was thinking of what I could do with starting something of my own and kind of bringing my passion for fashion into it. So then I thought of New Life and I got into secondhand and like thrifting and stuff during that year as well. So I thought, especially with the sustainability aspect of it and just like reusing the clothes already out there, I thought that'd be a good way to kind of introduce myself into that. And then, so that's kind of how I got inspired because I've always had a passion for fashion, but obviously the industry is kind of one of the bigger polluters out there. So then if I can do my little part, I guess, by kind of reducing it, by kind of reusing everything that's already out there. And then also you also find like really unique, like one of one kind of pieces as well, which is a draw for most people, which is a draw for me as well. So then you can wear something that nobody really has because it could be from the 50s or something. So nobody really has that. So that's kind of what got me into that.
Awesome. So you do all of the New Life stuff, I guess, before Kate, but did you do it all yourself?
Yeah, it was pretty much all me. I did have help from like family and friends during like I had like pop-ups, and if I went to an event I'd have help during that, but then everything kind of else I've been doing. So it's nice to have Kate now because now she can kind of help me out. And then I'm not a big marketing person, so she's like better with that. So hopefully she'll be able to do stuff in that area too.
Yeah, that was kind of one of my other questions is now that you guys are working together, how is that kind of working? Like what roles do you each have in that now?
Well, do you want to say what?
Yeah. Well, I don't know, like even just on the Instagram as well, like I've kind of started doing some posts for it and everything. And also we have been talking about like new ideas for different ways to promote the business. But one thing we actually talked about was like starting email marketing like as another touch point, just or like starting like a blog through the website and stuff like that, just on different topics about you know like vintage clothing or sustainability and everything like that. Yeah, I feel like we have a lot of ideas, but
Well, you brought in those ideas too because I asked you because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
are the
Like
marketing person. So
yeah, I also like I used to work for a local consignment store in Regina. So it's like I kind of have that interest in, slow fashion and consignment and stuff like that. Obviously better for the environment. So it was nice when you asked me, I guess, because I
yeah,
do have an interest in that as well. Yeah.
and then yeah, so I guess she's gonna probably take over more of the marketing side of it because I can just hand that off because I don't really need to do that. But then I guess with like more the I guess yeah, the operation side of things,
Mhm.
and then like sourcing and like planning events and everything. I think and more like pop-ups and stuff with that, and just kind of reaching out to other people that we can collaborate with, whether it's like another local vintage seller or even just a blogger, even because I've done that in the past as well. I think just like planning that, but then you can handle all like she's coming up with a lot of new ideas, which is good. So yeah, I guess that's how we kind of separated right now.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm wondering, Robbie, like with your operations background, how does the sourcing work? I've always been curious how that works for like these
Mhm.
businesses that each piece is like so unique to us. So I'm wondering how you find those.
So basically, the short answer is like everywhere, but I guess like more detail would be like I would buy off people who are selling like pieces from their own closet, I guess, if I think there's value to them and if they're trying to like get rid of it, then I buy pieces from people. Mostly, I also hit like the standard like uh, thrift stores and everything. And then especially when I'm traveling, I usually try to go there as well because there's a lot in your hometown. Like in Edmonton, there's a lot, but then you find a lot of different things in like different cities. Like when I go to the States, I spend like a day going to like a bunch of different stores and everything, just looking around because then you'll find things from different cities and different like states, especially in the U.S. and then different provinces in Canada as well. Like when I'm in Vancouver, there's a lot of spots to I usually go to when I'm there, and then yeah, it just varies. It's really hit or miss most of the time, but the more you do it, the more like the better chance you have of actually finding things. So basically, yeah, I just go everywhere. Garage sales too. That's a big one. That's a big one during the summer actually, which not many people go to. But yeah, if I see one, I'll just pull in, see what's there. If there's nothing, that's fine. But yeah, basically, I go like everywhere.
So when you started the business, Robbie, since you were kind of doing it all by yourself, what was the biggest learning curve in starting the e-commerce kind of business?
Oh, okay. There's a lot because I wasn't like I did research obviously and like made my little business plan off of what I've learned in class and everything, but executing it was a totally different thing. So I guess the biggest learning curve was finding even or building like the website even because like I started off I just used like Wix because I did research. I was comparing like different builders. I like looked into like getting someone to build it, but then I'm like I don't know if there's a huge benefit compared to the cost with that. So I started off with Wix because I like read up comparisons and everything, did some research, but then it didn't work out really with the functionality of the site with all the products I had. So then eventually I actually switched to Shopify, which is a lot better, and I should have done that from the start. But I guess the learning curve is that there's lots of mistakes that you're gonna make, but it's about trying to adapt and change what you had planned as quickly as possible. So yeah, I should have switched to Shopify, well, quicker, but I should have just started from that. But I think yeah, the biggest learning curve is that there's mistakes, but it's just adapting and changing like what you had set for like the next couple of weeks or the next months. With that, yeah.
Yeah. You do have to like go through it to know as well. Right?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to make those mistakes,
Yeah.
yeah, or else like you don't know. So yeah, that's probably the biggest learning curve.
Yeah. So do you see New Life as something that you'd want to pursue like full time, or do you see it kind of as like a side project?
Yeah, we've talked about this before,
Yeah.
but like right now it is kind of side project because like I can't do it full time. Well, I live at home, so that helps because I don't really have many expenses. So I'm trying to put as much work into it as possible. But right now, I would consider it like kind of a side thing. I do have like a job as well, but eventually I would hope to have it so it's able to be like self-sustaining, so I can like just do that full time because that's the goal in mind right now. But obviously, just right now, it has to be like part time for me. But yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's definitely a cool opportunity. Like I remember traveling in Europe too, and like some of the consignment stores there are just like a lot cooler than anything we have here. And I feel like obviously now would be a terrible time to start a retail like brick and
Yeah.
mortar business, but maybe somewhere down the road too, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like we've kind of talked about that too, about like the brick and mortar and everything. Obviously, yeah, right now it's like good that I don't have anything there, no physical location or anything. So online has been even good during this time right now. But maybe in the future, we'll have to see. But right now, I think we're gonna try to pump more work into just like building that e-commerce and then see where it goes from there.
So, Robbie, what advice would you give to someone who's looking to like start an online business, kind of similar to what you did?
Advice? Like honestly, just do it. Because like my thought pattern was, I was listening to this podcast. I forget which one, but it's about how people usually take risks later in life rather than earlier. Because like right now, there isn't a huge risk because I don't have a family. I don't have huge expenses. I'm not living on my own yet, so I don't have like rent or like everything else that comes with like moving out and everything. So I thought the best time would be now because if I lose a bunch of money, that's like it's all right because I don't have anything that's I'm gonna create with debt or I'm not gonna build debt right now. So I would say if you're thinking about it and you're in my position, you're like in university or you're younger, but you don't really know what you're doing. Nobody really knows what they're doing at the start. So I would say just do it. It's better to do it when you're younger, when you don't have as like obviously you have like lots of responsibilities, but if you're older, you have a family, you have kids maybe, you have like a mortgage to pay, and everything piles up, and you have probably less time than you would right now. So I would just say do it, and you can learn while you're doing it as well.
Yeah, I think that's great advice to kind of just, well, you can just kind of try new things and see where it goes. But before,
Man,
pardon?
well, we still can. Life pains you down.
Before we move on, though, I just wanted to do a quick plug for New Life because I am wearing a New Life jacket that I got. Thank you, Robbie. I encourage you all to check out NEWLIFE We'll link it below. I don't want to get it wrong. Maybe Robbie will give me a promo code, Jill20.
Jill20.
Yeah, so yeah, use Jill20 for 20% off. And your next purchase. So our next thing is I know you guys just started a blog together. So when did you decide you wanted to start this?
Oh
It was
God.
like the start of April. I don't know. We were just like FaceTiming one day, and I don't even know how it came up.
Yeah, we were just talking about how we've always wanted to like, or talking about like influencers and stuff just on Instagram and everything, and like how we've kind of always wanted to do something like that. And yeah, I don't know. We both just really liked the idea of it, I think, and I'm
a different outlet. I don't know. Just share different kinds of posts that you went on your personal. Like I on my personal page, like I barely post. Like I post once every maybe couple months and everything.
Yeah, and you had like so many photos that you
I just had photos
stockpiled, so
of
it was like it's perfect.
me and outfits. I was like, ooh, yeah, I feel good, but I'm like, I'm not gonna post this. But now it's like, yeah, so it's a nice little fun thing to do.
Yeah.
And then we also, once we started, we thought that it's also like a good outlet to cross promote New Life as well, too. And then even I'll start even promoting the blog more on my on the New Life page, or we will. And then because we were talking about how it's good to show people like more about your life and more about yourself as well.
Yeah. I feel like it kind of ties into like you see New Life as like a business, but then if you go to our style of life. You kind of have that face behind the business as well, which is nice. Getting to know like a lot more about you and everything, and just like being more open and real on that page is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree. I feel like that's definitely a trend that's
Yeah.
emerging, I guess. Like people really wanting to put like a face on a brand and kind of like connect personally with customers that way, I guess. So yeah, I definitely think that's a great way to kind of tie the two in together.
Yeah.
I know you're both super into like fashion, and that's one of the reasons you guys started it. But how did you guys realize or find out that you guys like had such a like common interest in fashion?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
That's probably
was it the wallet, the card holder?
Oh yeah, it was the card holder.
Yeah, we talked about this actually like in one of our intro posts.
Yeah,
but it was like, the first time that we met.
Yeah,
and I don't know. I commented on his card holder, and he was like, "Oh, you know that brand?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know." And then
yeah, and
I
then
think we kind of just knew that we both had like
because you said, and then I asked like, oh, because it's like a not very well known brand, right? So then you talked about how you were like working in your consignment store and everything. So I think that's how I figured it out. So then we talked more just about clothing after that.
Yeah, I think
because
so.
I was like, oh, okay.
It's kind of what started it, I guess.
Yeah,
so.
it did.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably the first moment.
Well, that was at RMBS, right? You guys met?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were in Edmonton.
Yeah, Jill was there.
Jill was there.
Jill was there at the dinner.
Yeah, my food took 2 hours to.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember. Yeah. So a lot of blogs, I feel like do like brand deals and stuff, and that's kind of a direction that a lot of them go. Is that something that you guys are interested in, or is it kind of just like for fun and just like to share your lives?
I would say right now it's for fun, but then if someone was to reach out to us and
we
say,
probably wouldn't say no.
Yeah, we would say, if someone's like, "Oh, do you want a free shirt from this brand?" And I'd be like, "Okay."
Yeah. But like even right now, like I think just with NEWLIFE too, it's like we promote it on there as well. I know that's not really like a brand deal since it's like yours, but I mean just promoting like your clothing on our page as well too. But yeah, I think for now it's more just like
it's like for fun,
personal kind of fun thing.
And then if eventually we get to the point where people are wanting to send us things, like we would totally do that. If anyone's out there watching who wants to send us free clothes to promote, we'll do that.
So what are some blogs that you guys look up to, or like, do you guys follow any blogs that you kind of aspire to be like?
You follow a lot.
I follow a lot, but now I'm like, what are they? No, I know that there's one specifically that is actually like just a couple that kind of does like fashion and lifestyle and everything that I've like pulled a lot of inspiration from for ours, honestly. I can't remember the name of it now. Yeah, I feel like I'm not going to remember the name of it.
Yeah.
Shoot. But yeah, I know I've definitely pulled a lot of inspiration from there. But then there's also just like other influencers that I follow that I always like get ideas from. I think. Do you have any specific ones? I don't know.
Well, you have the three people that created like the vlog thing.
Oh.
Who are those people?
Okay. Well, I don't know. I feel like everybody kind of, I don't know. They're like very popular right now. But like it's like Sophie Sukan, Emma Ledger, and then Nixon Raider, I believe is her last name. They're like all within Canada. And like, I don't know, they're like huge right now, I think. Like it's been pretty recent, and they kind of started something all together as well. Their own like page where they do like a podcast kind of thing. I don't know. It's like I get a lot of inspiration from that, honestly, just because they can be like so like open about things, but then still like being, I don't know, like it's I like following them. I don't know. They're good, but I don't have any other specific ones. I don't think.
I don't follow any bloggers, to be honest.
Yeah. I feel like that's all me.
Yeah, it's all you. Like when you said blog, I was like, oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, no,
but it's not like I've been following a bunch of people. I was like, oh yeah, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, no, I'm like very into that side of like social media and stuff. So because I think it's just a huge market for sure. But
But yeah,
Yeah.
she has all the ideas. I'm just kind of there.
I'm curious. So like I personally like I feel like I'm decently well dressed, but I'm definitely not like a fashion trend like setter and stuff like that. But I'm curious, like, what are some fashion trends you're seeing for like the summer and stuff like that? I guess I don't know if COVID's impacted that, but like even when you're sourcing stuff, like, are you looking for specific items a lot of the time?
Mm, kind of like with right now, like denim is a big thing, especially since the vintage jeans have the more straight leg kind of fit to them, and that's like really huge right now, especially in the like light wash Levi's, because people are liking like the straighter leg, not the fully skinny kind of tailored fit to them. So I think that's a huge thing, and you can usually find a decent amount at a store if they haven't got picked over yet. But that's probably one of the biggest things that I'd probably be focusing on right now because everybody loves vintage denim too. And then they're all unique too with like the fade, the wash, the people love dirt and stuff and like stains on their old jeans too, which is surprising. But yeah, people love that and like the natural distressing and everything. But I think that because with the trend of people wearing like straight leg jeans and everything, yeah, I would say that.
Yeah, it seems like some major brands too have tried to like emulate the kind of consignment store finds. Like even I think of like Aritzia and their corduroy jackets. They look vintage-esque, but you know they're like brand new.
No, that's for sure. Like lots of like companies out there like have the retro vintage aesthetic, but they are like new. Like probably another big one would be Urban Outfitters. I'd say is probably one of the other biggest companies that kind of have that vintage aesthetic with being still new. So like definitely people are shopping for that, but hopefully more people I guess go towards the actual secondhand version.
Yeah.
But yeah, Urban Outfitters still has nice clothes though.
Yeah, speaking of current trends, Robbie, I noticed that you did you make some masks too?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I did.
yeah.
Well, the mat.
I don't even have them
We
here.
don't have them here.
They're
But
in the room.
yeah, so my mom was ordering masks and everything, and then you showed me this actually. It's this company in Vancouver who have been making masks out of old dust bags or have been using like labels off of dust bags or like even like I've seen them using like ribbon, which is what I've been doing, and just putting that on a mask or making a dust bag into a mask. So then when my mom ordered these because she's selling them at her store, I was like, I want to kind of put something on it.
Yeah.
So then I found, or she had some older like designer ribbon and stuff. So I just decided to just sew that on and kind of gives it a little pop to it.
Another way to like repurpose.
Yeah, another way to repurpose ribbon, like it's just sitting in a box. So it's like, I thought it was kind of cool.
Use it for something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Repurpose.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just
Yeah,
started.
that was a really cool idea how you could kind of like tie the sustainability, your like kind of passion for sustainability into something so current. So good job, Rob.
Her, because she sent me the post. So but I sewed them. I don't mind sewing things. So
Yeah.
I didn't mind it.
Did you know how to sew already, or did you learn from starting New Life?
Actually, in junior high, I took foods and fashion instead of what people did like what work what is it
Like
workshop
oh yeah, workshop.
like construction type thing. And I went to
Wood
foods and
shop.
fashion, wood shop. But I went to foods and fashion, so I sewed my first pair of pajama pants in grade 8. So then I got a background knowledge of that, and then I used to hand sew. I used to actually tailor jeans back when I like a senior fit to them. So I used to tailor them, but I didn't have a sewing machine, so I just did it by hand, which was terrible. But then with New Life, I eventually like I probably should get a sewing machine. I don't know, just to like because I wanted to sew like patches on jeans and like reworks and stuff. So then I got a sewing machine and then kind of just watched a couple YouTube videos on how to actually set it up because I was like 5 years since I used one. Maybe I borrowed my aunt's a while ago, but yeah. So then I kind of started sewing more for New Life, and then getting better. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Um, good job. Um, so for the blog, I feel like another trend, or I don't know if it's a trend, but something that's kind of like the natural progression of like, um, I guess like online profiles and stuff is like a YouTube channel and stuff and like vlogging. Is that something you guys are interested in?
Yeah, no, we've been trying to vlog this entire week.
Yeah, we're terrible.
We're
bro.
not great at it so far, but I feel like that'll come
Yeah.
more naturally as we go. I don't know.
Well, we also forget.
We forget a lot.
We forget a lot. Like we go a whole day without doing it when we said we would. Like we would do things so that we could vlog it as well.
Yeah.
And then we just forget.
Exactly.
So I think that's also what sucks. But we have some content. It's not the best, but
yeah, we definitely do want to do more of that though, because I agree. Like I do see that as like a big trend, and it just even gives like more like, I don't know, insight into like what we're doing and like our lives and stuff. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But even like with like YouTube, I think we've kind of talked about that.
Yeah.
The possibility of it, but
well, we created a channel.
Yeah, we did
like a while ago, just so that
just in case to have the profile up there. We also made a TikTok. So
we haven't used that. We have a lot of ideas, but we're not executing on them right now.
Yeah.
We're supposed to create a TikTok this trip.
We will.
Yeah, that was a plan for yesterday, which got pushed to today.
Yeah.
So
that's all right.
Get out there.
So I guess for in terms of next steps, since Robbie, you just graduated, so where do you kind of see yourself, or I guess what are your next steps for like work and for your life?
So since retail is like opening up and stuff, I still have a job at Aritzia. Well, I got a job at Aritzia back in like end of March, and then I was doing like online training and stuff, and then I was supposed to go in store, and then obviously everything happened. Yeah, COVID. So then I haven't been able to work at all actually for them yet. But since they opened, I think it would have been today or yesterday, I'm getting just thrown into the store, and when I get back on possibly Tuesday. So that's what my plan is right now, to work with them for a bit, and then I still have a job at Little Burgundy. I don't know how many times I'll work there because Aritzia is kind of my priority, as well as still trying to do New Life. But yeah, next steps would probably be also source more clothes if like all the stores open up again, because I haven't been really able to get anything since everything happened. So next steps would be probably focusing on getting new product, as well as trying to figure out what to do at Aritzia when I'm in the store.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely kind of throws a wrench in your plan when everything closes when you just got a retail job. So yeah, it's nice that things will be opening up again. Yeah. So Kate, what about you? What are your kind of plans for either the summer or just the next few years?
Yeah, I still have 1 year left in university. So this year I'm actually a part of my business student society, just as the VP marketing. So that's kind of my plan for like the next year. Of course, like everything is going to be kind of a bit different with COVID and everything going on. We won't be able to have like some of our events and stuff. We're going to be like trying to plan things a bit differently, which is like, it's kind of scary, but it's also like kind of, I don't know, exciting to see how we'll be able to adapt to all these changes and everything. But yeah, after school, I've talked about how I want to get into fashion marketing, actually, take like a certificate in that, possibly in like Vancouver or something, but we'll see. But yeah, right now, I guess kind of I'm in a co-op as well. So until August, just like working until then, and then focusing on school for my last year. So I'm excited to graduate and do something else with my life. But Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. It was awesome to talk about e-commerce and blogging, and
Yeah.
kind of the future of fashion and all that. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks
for
for
having
having
us.
That's fun.
Use that promo code too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to make that.